Welcome. This is the Senior Safety Advice Podcast, and we are so glad that you've made it to a calmer corner of your day. Here, we focus on real solutions, practical help, and the kind of encouragement we could all use a little more of. So let's get to it.
Caregiver fatigue doesn't start with a breakdown. It starts quietly, with being tired all the time, snapping at small things, or feeling numb when you know you shouldn't. Today, I want to help you recognize the warning signs of caregiver fatigue before it takes a serious toll on your health, your relationships, or your ability to keep caring safely. And if we haven't hit that yet, I'm Robin Schultz. I'm a senior home safety specialist, and I've spent years working with older adults and their families. I've seen what happens when caregivers push through exhaustion instead of listening to it, and I've also seen how much better things get when they don't. Here's what I mean. Caregiver fatigue is not a weakness. It is not failure, and it is not something that only happens to other people. Trust me, it happens to good caregivers. Dedicated caregivers, loving caregivers. It happens because caregiving is not a short sprint. It is a long emotional marathon. And the tricky part is this. Most caregivers don't realize what's happening until their body or emotions force them to stop. So let's talk about the warning signs you really can't ignore. One of the first signs we see is constant exhaustion that does not go away with rest. Sure, you sleep, but you wake up tired. Or you sit down, but you don't feel refreshed when you get back up. Even small tasks feel heavy. This fatigue isn't about just being busy. It's your nervous system staying in high alert mode all the time. Your body never fully relaxes because part of you is always listening for the next problem. Another big warning sign is irritability or anger that feels out of character. You snap at your loved one, you feel annoyed at people who are trying to help, you lose patience over things that normally wouldn't bother you, and then you feel guilty about it. So I want you to hear this clearly. That irritability is often exhaustion talking, not your true feelings. Another sign caregivers often miss is emotional numbness. Maybe you stop feeling much of anything. You're simply going through the motions. Yes, you handle tasks, but the joy, empathy, or connection feels muted. This can be scary, especially if you love the person you're caring for. But numbness is a common protective response. Your brain is trying to conserve energy when it feels overwhelmed. Let's talk about some physical symptoms too, because some of these surprise people. Caregiver fatigue often shows up as headaches, stomach issues, muscle pain, frequent colds, or worsening chronic conditions. Stress doesn't stay in your head, it settles into your body. If your health has been quietly declining since caregiving began, well, that's not a coincidence. Another red flag is withdrawal from people and activities. You stop returning calls, you start canceling plans, you tell yourself it's just easier to stay home. And sometimes it is easier in the moment. But isolation makes fatigue grow faster. Caregiving was never meant to be done alone. One more sign I really want you to notice is feeling trapped or resentful. These thoughts often come with shame, so caregivers don't say them out loud. Maybe you feel like, I don't have a choice. No one else will do this. My life is on hold. If those thoughts sound familiar, trust me, your fatigue level is already high. Now here's the part I want you to really hear. Ignoring caregiver fatigue does not make you stronger. It just makes caregiving less safe. Fatigued caregivers are more likely to get injured, to miss warning signs, to make mistakes with medication, or to burn out completely. And when that happens, everyone suffers. So what can you do if you recognize yourself in any of this? Well, first, name it. Saying, I am experiencing caregiver fatigue is not dramatic. It's honest. Secondly, lower the bar. You do not need to do everything perfectly. Doing something safe is better than perfect. Good enough is good enough. Third, build in small relief, not big, unrealistic fixes. This might mean asking someone to sit with your loved one for an hour. It might mean ordering groceries instead of shopping. It might mean talking to your doctor about stress, sleep, or anxiety. Small changes reduce fatigue more than waiting for a full break that may never come. And finally, get support before you hit the wall, the proverbial wall. That support might be practical help, it might be emotional support, it might be professional guidance. Caregiving works best when the caregiver is also cared for. That is not selfish, that's smart. If this episode felt personal, that's probably because it is. And if you're listening and thinking, I'm not there yet, but I'm close, then this message arrived right on time. So thanks for joining me today. Please share this episode with someone you care about who could use the information to make their life safer. You'll find more resources for seniors and caregivers on our website at seniorsafetyadvice.com. And if you're searching for an aging in place specialist, please visit our sister website at aginginplacedirectory.com. And if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel or to this podcast yet, go ahead and do that right now. Then come back tomorrow for another daily moment of guidance and encouragement, right here on the Senior Safety Advice Podcast. Until next time, thanks so much for listening. Take care. Bye.
This podcast is part of our mission to help older adults live safely and independently. If you'd like to take the next step, visit aginginplacedirectory.com, where you'll find specialists, helpful resources, and inspiration to make every home your place to thrive.